Hi guys, it is a reckless teenager or Mrs. Couture, and today I'm here with my sophomore year vlog, which is exciting because this is the first year that I'm actually doing like an actual first day vlog. But I actually filmed vlogs freshman year, and I really enjoyed looking back at them. So I want to do like a first day, first impression type video. So it actually started off like a good day pretty much. Okay, so first I actually got the most sleep I have gotten like in a long time. Like the first day I'm always don't get sleep, I just stay up all night and I just wake up whenever. But today I actually woke up only 10 times, which is good for, on the first day of school. I guess it was because I wasn't a freshman anymore and I wasn't that too nervous, and I guess I just didn't really I tried to play it off a little bit. But I woke up at 5:45. Normally I wake up at 6, but I wanted extra time to do my hair and makeup and everything like that because it is the first day, people. So we got in the car and we thought we were leaving early because I wanted 20 extra minutes to go to see where all my classes were and things like that with my twin sister, because this year was going to be different. My twin sister and I have always had classes the same. Like last year our whole schedule was the same, and this year it was all different except for 2 classes and then lunch. But so I wanted to see where all my classes were and stuff like that, but we ended up forgetting our lunch. My mom forgot to make it and pack it, so she had to go back to our house. Then she had to make our peanut butter and jelly and just put everything in baggies. And then when we got to school, the traffic was just so backed up that we got there with only 5 minutes to spare. So my sister and I literally rushed up the stairs, and then we were like, oh crap, we have to get our finalized schedule. So we had to go all the way back downstairs to the gym, which we were totally lost. We didn't know which gym, if we were supposed to go to the old gym or the new gym, because my school has 2 gyms. So finally this janitor was like, oh, sophomore and freshman go to the old gym. So we raced to the old gym, got our schedule, and then when we were walking to our first classes, over the intercom it's like, you should already be in your classes right now. Teachers, all students should be in their classes. And me and my sister just kind of panicked, and I raced all the way to my class, which is down this long hallway. My sister raced upstairs, and I was literally the last person to be in that class. I was the last person in my seat, and everybody stared at me when I walked in. For my hair dryer, there's 2 little parts. There's this part, which I always have trouble getting these off, but there's a comb, and there's also a brush. I mostly use the brush, but for right now, I'm just going to be taking both things off, and I'm just using it like this, and you guys will see why in a minute. So basically, I'm just going to be taking a strand of hair, and a little strand of my hair, and while I'm brushing it, it would be better to do with a round brush that had bristles all around, but I don't have one. So I'm brushing it, I'm just going to put the heat on it, and that's just going to give it a straight texture. It was just so bad. I was completely out of breath. I was just because I was completely rushing, and then when I got there it was just really awkward because everyone was staring at me, and I was like, oh crap, so I just sat down in this random seat by these random boys that I did not even know, and I only knew one person in that class, and I got a really bad schedule this year, so in each of my classes I only know 1 or 2 people, but it's whatever. So then after English, I was really excited because it was geometry, and I was looking forward to that hour all day because I have it with my twin sister and my best friend in the school. And also one of my friends told me that the teacher was amazing, and so I was excited. And we got there, and he's really, the geometry teacher is really nice and cool, and he just explains to us all the quizzes we're going to have and everything like that. And then I sit down, and we actually have a seating chart, so I try and find my seat. I sit down, and I'm sitting by this freshman. And there's mostly sophomores in that class, but there's about 9 awkward freshmen, so it's just kind of And the girl that I was sitting by in geometry, she has a lot of arm hair. Not that I was being weird or creepy, but she just has a lot of arm hair. I was like, is that normal? But it wasn't in a bad way. I was just oh my gosh, you have a lot of arm hair. I was wondering if she knew how to wax or what. So then my loudspeaker called down all the sophomores to go and talk about the school year apparently. So we had to go down to the auditorium, and I went down with my twin sister and my friend Francisca, and we went down to the auditorium, and it was just really boring. For some reason at my school nobody knows our principal and vice principal. We just don't really not even the teachers really know them that good. So it was our principal was oh, we got a new vice principal, and I was like, what? I've never seen you before. And it was a lady, and I was like, whoa, where'd you come from? Yeah, it was really boring. Basically for 15 or 30 minutes we were just going on and discussing because sophomores can drive now, so we were talking about getting your vehicle registered and at the front office, and we were just talking about dress code. Apparently guys aren't allowed to wear tank tops anymore, which I think is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, girls can wear tank tops but boys can't. Like, that's kind of funny. I don't know, maybe they just don't want all their like armpit hair and muscles showing, but I mean, what's provocative about that? If anything, that's less attractive. Okay, so we got our homework for geometry, and then I think I'm going to really enjoy this class because I have it with like all my friends and everything like that, so it's fun. And then for third hour I had chemistry, and I'm in, okay, this is what was really screwy. Okay, I'm in like an advanced chemistry class. It's called Chemistry 215. There's like 2 classes offered, Chemistry 210 and Chemistry 215, and your teacher like recommends you. And it's like really, really harder than the 210, but for some reason they don't count it as an honors or credit or anything like that. So everybody's still like, oh yeah, I'm taking an advanced like chemistry class, but they don't count it. So it's like, what's the point? I guess at my school, if you don't take Chemistry 215, you can't consider like a career in like medicine or anything like that, which I think is pretty stupid because my mom said that she never took Chemistry 215 and she still had that option. I don't really know what my high school's talking about, but... So I only knew one person in this chemistry class. Well, I knew like 2 people, but I don't really talk to these people. One girl I sat with at lunch, but we're not like all, hey, buddy, buddy. So she sat down by me, and I thought that was pretty nice. And the teacher is pretty kooky. She's like telling us all these stories about how we're going to be working with dangerous chemicals and stuff like that. And she's like, one time you have to pick a lab partner for the entire year. And she's like, and one time there's these 2 people dating, and they chose to be lab partners, and they broke up, and they had to still work with each other because no one wanted to switch, and they were just really awkward. So I suggest that you don't partner up with your boyfriend or your significant other. And I was just like, lady, why are you telling us this again? So I don't know what I'm going to do about lab partners because I obviously know like no one. I guess I'll probably just ask the girl who sat by me because she's pretty nice. So I'll just ask her to be my lab. I'll be like, do you want to be my lab partner? Don't know how that's going to go. But anyways, then what's really messed up is that I found out that I was going to have a different lunch than my twin sister and then my best friend, and I was like, oh my gosh, like nobody has my lunch. And it was really messed up because in our agendas it was said like what lunch you would have, and I was going by that, and I was like, oh, me and my twin sister have the same lunch. So I was like all excited about that, and then no, I have lunch by myself. So as I'm walking up this day, and my lunch is really sucky, it's second lunch, so I have to go to my 4th hour class, go to lunch, and then come back to class. So let me talk about Spanish class. Spanish class, the teacher is like really kooky and out there, and we had to do this stupid like name memorization game. You had to come up with like an adjective, and you had to memorize everyone else's, and I was like, I'm just gonna say, shoot, now I forgot what word I used. It wasn't caring. Oh, it was kind Carissa. I was like, hi, I'm kind Carissa. Anyway, so then we went to lunch, and the teacher was all like, you can leave all your stuff here. So I left my agenda, everything in the classroom because I was going to be coming back anyways. And I went upstairs into my locker, and I realized, hey, guess what? I don't know my locker number or my locker combination. And I was like, oh crap, how am I going to freaking get my lunch? And so I stupidly didn't program the locker and combination into my cell phone. So I just stood there for a minute. I was like, shoot, I'm not going to be able to eat today. So I literally had to carry around this big geometry book on my shoulder because I couldn't put it away. I had no lunch, and I had to go to lunch by myself. And when I got to lunch, it was a bunch of freshmen, like people I did not know at all. So I just sat down at this random table by myself, and I pretended to just be, like, I was just texting, like, people because I was really bored. And it was really awkward because I was sitting by myself. And I was like, oh, shoot, when is this lunch going to end? Just hurry up and end. And then finally, like, at the end, right when lunch ended, I saw, like, one of my friends. And I was like, oh, shoot, I was sitting by myself. And I was like, I should have sat by you. Like, so tomorrow I'm going to try and find where she sits and go sit by her because I refuse to sit by myself when the freshmen even have people to sit by. Like, no, that's not going to happen. So anyways, I was just in a really pissy mood because while on trekking to find my lunch, one of my fake nails came off. So it was just a bad day. Didn't get to eat lunch. My stomach was already hurting and growling and everything like that. I was so parched. I was so thirsty from running around. And I was just like, screw this. So I just popped a piece of gum in my mouth and just went to frickin' 5th hour. 5th hour, luckily I had it with my twin sister, and it was writing for publications, and the teacher's like really, really nice. and he's tan and he's really nice. And we just basically, we talked about the newspaper and things like that, because it's basically what we're doing, it's making it into school newspaper. And we like had to go around in like a circle and talk to random people for like 30 seconds that you didn't know. Like he would give you a top and then you had to go around and talk to random people. And so I was partnered with this boy, and he's like 30 seconds to talk about pets. And I was like being really awkward. I didn't even know, apparently this kid's a sophomore like me, and I was like, what? He had like a full-grown beard. Well, not full-grown, but he was like, yeah. I was like, I had a dog, but I had to give it away because I moved from California. And he was like, we're in California, and I was like, LA. And he's like, oh, you used to live in LA? And then it was just really awkward because he's like, you're new here, right? Like, I don't know why, but this is a really big school. There's like 2,000 people, and for some reason people always know that my sister and I are new here. Like they're always like, oh, you're new here, right? Oh, you're new here. And I'm just like, how the heck do you know that? There's like 2,000 people in this school. Like how? Why? So anyways, when we got done with that class, I went to my 6th hour, which is U.S. history. And I just went there. The teacher is kind of chill. He was just like, I don't know. He's like, he was just like talking about cell phones and stuff like that. And then we started getting into the hard stuff, which is like the U.S. history part. And he's talking about the westward movement. And I was just like, okay, I zoned out. Like literally, I was just sitting there playing with my Sharpies and with my whiteouts. I was like literally not even listening to a word you just said, but I was just nodding and saying, he's like, the westward revolution happened because blah 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 and blah blah. And I was like, and then finally it was the end of the freaking day, and I was like, thank gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, this seemed like the longest day of my life. And so then I went, and as I was walking to my locker, I saw this boy, and he's so cute. He's like this boy I've had a crush on since freshman year, and I saw him walking, so that was nice. It was like motivation for my horrible freaking day. And then, yeah, I just went to my locker with my friends, and I went to my locker, put away my stuff. I don't know why, but this school year it just seems like it's going to be like a lot more difficult, just because I am taking the honors classes, and I'm taking Spanish 2, which is said to be like a really hard and difficult class. But we already have tons of homework. Like literally they just jumped in. It wasn't like, oh, you're a freshman, so I'm gonna baby, you know. It was like, okay, we're starting with lesson blah 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 in 2.6, so I already have so much homework. I literally have geometry. I literally have like 50 pages for geometry homework. I have we already have quizzes. Like we have a quiz Friday, quiz Thursday. I'm just in over my head, but I just need time to think. But anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you guys later. That was my first day of sophomore year. Be looking out for my first day of junior year and my first day of senior year, just because I like vlogging about it and letting you guys know everything that happened. Also, homecoming is coming up, so be ready for like a getting ready for homecoming, and just be ready for a whole bunch of vlogs on this channel. So yeah, I love you guys.